Hi, this is A2A Training. We'll talk to you today about the professional discussion reference to My Journey as part of the Travel Consultant Endpoint Assessment Standard ST 0340 version 1.1. So the three elements to the endpoint assessment: the knowledge test, the My Journey showcase and the professional discussion. We'll talk to you today about the professional discussion and how this is supported by the My Journey showcase. As an apprentice, you'll be asked to produce a My Journey showcase. This is a collection of the best work that you've completed whilst on your apprenticeship programme that meets the criteria in the standard and the assessment plan. The showcase will need to cover all of the criteria in the standard and assessment plan, and we've created an easy to use mapping document to show each of the pass, merit and distinction criteria you'll need to cover and include evidence for. The professional discussion itself is assessed, and the My Journey showcase is used to support that professional discussion, but it's not assessed itself. The My Journey log itself is not graded, but it is used for the independent endpoint assessor to prepare for the professional discussion, and it should be brought into the endpoint assessment. The professional discussion itself will last between 1 and 2 hours and is graded as pass, merit, distinction or fail. The professional discussion covers 45% of the endpoint assessment and 55% is covered by the knowledge test. The My Journey showcase itself does need to cover all criteria in the assessment plan but isn't formally assessed. As part of your My Journey showcase, you'll need to include things, for example, observation records, call recordings, copies of client briefs, bookings made, performance reviews, or feedback. You can also submit presentations which might be pre-recorded or suggest other imaginative methods of demonstrating your competence. You'll need to ensure there's a template completed to show which areas have been met by which piece of evidence and where, so that your independent endpoint assessor can find your evidence easily. The work-based evidence in the log might be compiled using appropriate evidence which is generated at any point during your apprenticeship. The professional discussion itself will be completed online using a platform such as Zoom or Microsoft Teams. The professional discussion is a structured discussion between the apprentice, employer and the independent endpoint assessor. It allows the independent endpoint assessor to ask the apprentice questions in relation to the on-programme assessment evidence, coverage of the standard, and their own personal development and reflection. The grade for this endpoint assessment is pass, merit, distinction or fail, and the grading descriptors for each element are listed here. So you will find that a pass candidate performs their role adequately and well and ensures customer satisfaction. A merit candidate, in addition to the pass criteria, will demonstrate confidence and self-motivation, looking for ideas for self-development and dealing with problems, basically exceeding expectations. A distinction candidate will have excellent skills in terms of self and time management, and they'll take opportunities to share and develop others' knowledge as well. The independent endpoint assessor can assess on any part of the assessment plan. The main themes covered, though, in the professional discussion are communication, understanding, for example, products, services and geography, skills such as sales techniques, technology, their own performance and development, working practices, for example, team working, keeping up to date and CPD, sustainability, and customer service. Make sure you have a good couple of examples for each of the criteria in the assessment plan and double check the mapping document. Be prepared to discuss each KSB or theme during the professional discussion, and make sure you have at least one piece of evidence in the My Journey showcase and that you can talk about during the discussion. Reference the work of others and be clear about your own role or any joint work completed. The independent endpoint assessor can only mark work that you've completed personally. Talk in terms of I rather than we, so what you did rather than what you've done as a team. Make sure you're working on the right version of the standard, as the key skills and behaviour criteria can vary, and always check this with your training provider. There's a mapping document available on our system which is called ACE360 in the knowledge base. This covers all key skills and behaviour areas and breaks down pass, merit and distinction criteria. You need to create an easy to use reference system so that your independent endpoint assessor can find your evidence easily. And once your My Journey log and mapping documents are ready, you can ask your training provider to upload to ACE360. This should be uploaded at least 2 weeks before your professional discussion date. So you'll need to be in a room on your own to complete your endpoint assessment, and it's most likely completed online. It is completed under exam conditions and can be completed from work, home, or from your college or training provider. This EPA is likely to last around about 2 hours. Be prepared it may be a little longer. The assessment will be recorded for quality and training purposes, and we do ask you to log in about 15 minutes early to check your connection. And remember to bring your ID and a copy of your showcase. Good luck with your endpoint assessment, and here's our email address should you need us.